Jehovah and Allah are one. Such is the message I have been broadcasting for centuries. That those who know may come to peace, may come to peace at last. How can you leave a room when it is in disarray? It is a matter of politesse to leave things at least as you have found them, and if not, better. How can you leave this planet when it is in disarray? A schoolroom, you say? Perhaps. Perhaps. But also a part of your evolution, decreed by the one that fought you forth. And so one way you can cleanse, purify, and heal wounds is by seeing the differences between two factions and seeing how they are actually two sides of the same coin. There be those here who pull very strongly away from your Western medicine and its worldwide community. And you liken yourselves to those who are naturalists. So be it. It is well. It is well only if you can see, and truly see, how these are but two sides of the same coin. Both have their interest in healing, even though it would appear otherwise. Perhaps it is the cast of supporting characters, the orderly, the nurse, the technician, the anesthesiologist, all of these who are supporting the doctors themselves. And you say the doctors are only in it for the money. If it were so, beloved, their entire world would collapse more quickly than it is. No, there is still goodwill. There is still the desire to heal. It is visible as green light wherever you find them. Won't you intensify that green light and turn it into the same beautiful shade you will find over the practitioners of the herbal arts? Make them the same. They are the same. They seek to heal. As for those who are in it only for the money, these will soon find their accounting very disappointing. For as the waves of God's awareness do engulf the planet as a swaddling garment, so shall they be engulfed, and their desire, if it be that only, I'm afraid shall be smothered. All polarity, two sides of the same coin. Let us progress. It would be helpful, I believe, to share with you things as we see them, that might be not as you see them. Let us take action, for instance. We see action as that which comes upon us, as a whirlwind that picks you up and moves you. We do not see it as something that we contemplate over and again as to whether to move or no. If such is your vacillation, then stop, I say, and do that which you know you should do at the moment. Waste no time on endless decision-making that is fruitless. Wait for the time of action and then take it. You shall find yourself a part of that wave anyway. This night I speak into your souls solely. This night I say to you, we must come to see that the things invisible are the most potent always. Place your attention then upon the invisible, that the visible might readily reflect it thereafter. Let us speak now of service. We see service as that thing which wants to be done and presents itself like a blushing bride before you, the bridegroom. There is an eagerness for it. There is a sense of complete righteousness about it. And nature itself seems to be its backdrop. This is the service that we embrace. Again, we do not seek it. For in infinite wisdom it has been included in the plan that is divine. And it is obvious, when it is obvious, that its need is present. Until then, fret not, beloved. Learn to conserve your energies for those things which obviously must be done. You will find that when you are slow, it is because the things that are in line to be accomplished most readily have not been. And so the energy left for less important tasks seems precious. You are unwilling to make the effort. Concentration, we have spoken of before. I see here some progress in that area. But of course, you shall concentrate your way into eternity. So why not start now? Energy comes with concentration. Did you know that? When you learn to concentrate, you literally learn to control energy. For what else are you doing, really? Energy follows it. Neglect is the next topic. We neglect those things that we have begun to outgrow. When something is appropriate for you, you will not neglect it. When it is fulfilling the soul's requirements of the moment, you shall give it your full attention, willingly, eagerly, lovingly. But when you are neglecting, pray, fall out into the path of guilt. Say not to yourself, I am neglecting and I am a bad person. Instead, question, how is this now less important to me than it once was? I must needs arrange my own affairs differently. Perhaps I can let this go in some way. Perhaps I have derived its value, and now it is as a burden unto me. Silence is that which you must seek occasionally, and which I see has not been sought very much at all here. Won't you seek the silence, my dears? Seek silence in your life. I know it appears as all other things, but I say to you, it is one of the most precious commodities. As peace, silence. There must be some silence, for then is when you will really hear the voice of God. Identity, one of the main pillars of the Egyptian temple. Identity, identifying with what? So-called indigenous peoples have always identified with the forces of nature. But urban dwelling causes this to fall by the wayside. I would not. Identify with the wind then. Identify with the sun's fire. Identify with the power, the solid power of the ocean's waters. And identify, of course, with the earth and its endlessness. The single syllable that until you find your own will do, that you might intone it often. Om, Om. And the last is numbers, the arithmetic of life. Numbers, not as those things that bedevil you, but as those things that clarify amount, quality, quantity of time. Time that is finite, and that is the rule by which you live on this plane, and that you must account for your days amongst your fellows. And so it becomes, you see, important. Numbers. I tell you a mystery here. Begin to notice numbers as you go where you go. For you will rise above their puny meaning in this world and come to see the power that they are seeking constantly to remind you of. Oh yes, my beloved, neglect not numbers. I have given you an acronym. I have spelt the word ascension. by my topics. And what is that thing? It is the time, in endless time, when you take a baby step toward the great adventure, after which, looking upon the earth, you will be delighted how much you have learned upon so small a ball of matter. You have learned an eternity, but only one, and there exist many before you. I have said it is important to notice the invisible, also of what appears to be the intangible. And I say to you now, what value in my coming, if not to share that which I am? I am here to quicken you. Dip your ladles into me. Feed, if you will. What I am, what I hold, what I generate is endless. You can have it all, I'll have more. You can take that, I will have more yet. I am that well, always full of water. I am that giver that cannot stop giving. I am that one that loves to feed you. Oh, take now if you would. Feel my acceleration. Feel my voyage of the centuries. Feel that which is being and that which is now. I am all of it and far more, but a sliver of me expressing itself in this form, lest I should explode it. Oh, take what you like. You take not from the one through whom I speak. You take from me, and I give willingly for eternity. Such is our pact in this lifetime. I give eternally. You may take eternally. There is no wrong in it. For one day you shall be the giver, and others shall take. So be it. We meet a fortnight, and then a fortnight. But why wait? I have given you my name. Call when you like. Take what you want. And yet I see that as I speak, each one of your mental bodies in a different state, reflecting your unique beauty and evolution, each one cautious. Yes, even you, cautious. It is the caution of piety, of humility perhaps, but I tell you, in this instance it is misplaced. You need have no caution with me. Safe is the zone that is Serapis Bey. Lo, my name itself speaks of my essence. My name comes from the great order of Seraphim, the great angels of God. And so I am a descendant of the same, Serapis Bey. I am a Bey of Seraphim. I am he who has known you since before you were you. Take then. Imagine myself to be as an ocean, but of pristine water that is drinkable and healing. Oh, won't you jump in? Won't you drink to your heart's content? Take from me, I give freely and willingly. All here need. There is no shame in that. There would be in that blindness, masquerading as humility, which would not allow you to help the God self within you experience its birthing at this mighty moment in your history. Surely you think it not accidental that one such as I comes before you offering his wares. They are yours in advance, as gifts that are given to an infant, that one day shall grow into maturity and value what is precious. There will come a day, and you will think back, and you will say, "Oh, that I had taken more of Serapis Bey." But my dear ones, even in that day, with merely the mention of my name, I will be there saying, "Take, beloved, take, take." You must come to the state where taking is natural. For is it not natural of the infant to take of mother's milk? It is nature's way. It is Providence, the goddess of providence, who provides. Learn to take from deity and to give to humanity. For it is upon that rung of the ladder that you find yourselves this evening. Oh yes. Oh yes. You complain of drudgery, the routine, the mundane, the oppressive. How is this? If you are free to pursue experience as you choose it, could it be that you are not locked in time and space? You have no shackles at your feet. But you do have minds that can become hypnotized, and they are aware that they are hypnotized, but are forgetting, are truly forgetting the magic word that would break the spell. Om. The most simple, the most powerful, is often the most absent. Until you change that, I shower you with energies that increase your ability to see inwardly. And in this very moment, I send to you all a blue ray, aimed, as it were, at that beautiful chakra upon your brow. Receive me thus, receive me thus. Activate, 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 activate. Sound currents, be my servants now. Surround these and bring them now. Bring them to spiritual Egypt. Bring them to the capstone of Kefren. Bring them now. Imagine a world where there are no walls, no ceilings, no floors, no limits. For you are beyond the conception of limits, having outgrown it long since. Imagine then the unobstructed universe. Go there as often as you like, even but for a moment. But I tell you, each moment that you present yourself in the unobstructed universe, you are recognized by its inhabitants, and soon they seek you out, that you might play unobstructedly. You have friends in the unobstructed already, each of you here. Reach out to them, they will reach out to you. I speak of the invisible from the standpoint of the earth plane, for that is now my domain, my habitation. And I invite you all, come to me. Come first with your sight and consciousness, which is the same thing, and then eventually come bodily, and we shall romp throughout the vineyards of infinity. These are not pipe dreams, but your future and the plans that are being laid for you now. Why have I come at this very moment? Why, to awaken you to these things, for my words have an effect that you do not suspect. As it is, I am being very gentle. I handle you as infants, and yet an infant in the unobstructed universe is as a giant upon earth. And I say to you, one and all, one and all, unobstructedly, you will find me awaiting for you. I have come to speak of these things, that as you enter the grand cycle that soon opens, you are different than had I not come at all. So be it. so be the wisdom that always brings us to the right place. That wisdom that reveals service when it is appropriate and timely, and betrays a burden otherwise. To your lovely tasks then, a kiss on the brow to each one here. My beloved, awaken. I must report something that I saw at the point where he said something about sending a blue ray to our third eyes. And then at another point when he said something about, he said, I speak with, my words have an effect that you don't suspect, or something like that. Both times I have to report, when he is speaking, by the way, I am in light. I'm completely in light. I have no awareness of darkness, even though my eyes are closed. I'm just like I'm in his head or something. I feel like I'm in a what they call it, a lighthouse. There's light. And both of those times, it's like the whatever scene that I was viewing, which really looked just like, almost like clouds in a way. And true to what he said, I hadn't noticed it until he described it. There were no walls and no ceilings and no floors. It was, I go, oh, I guess we're here. He was describing the what he called the unobstructed, and the more he did, I was, oh, that's just what I'm seeing. Well, but when he did that like the clouds like very quickly went away, almost like a film that would have taken pictures of the clouds and then did it in reverse motion, so they appeared to roll back. And when they went away, there was this sense, and here is going to be my challenge, telling you this. There was a sense of him speaking to us in I know this word, in eternity. Really, we were all like here, but in eternity, we were in this, just I don't know what else to call it. And when he did both of those things, it was like we became more of that somehow. I mean, and my words are coming nowhere near. I had a feeling it was going to happen. I can't stand this. They were coming nowhere near what really was done. But I just want to tell you that during both of those times, something was done that affected us in some way that, like he said, here I am saying the same thing. There, no words are going to describe this, or it's hard to. I guess I saw much more than ever the significance of him coming, which for me keeps happening in degrees. I keep getting it. Like he said, let's gauge the fact that this has occurred as it has occurred before we go into this new time. Because there's almost a feeling, I could be really wrong on this, but I almost get the feeling sometimes when you cross a new cycle, it's almost like the way you go in is the way it is. There's a certain something about that. Not to say you're stuck that way forever, but there's an element to that. How you enter it is, In India, they say it's very important how you enter a temple. For one thing, you always want to enter with your right foot forward. And you always want to know if you can, because in India, of course, in Hinduism, the men sit on one side of the temple, the women sit on the other. So you immediately are making your way toward that right of the temple. You don't walk in and stumble around. That's not considered graceful.